In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Radio Hall of Fame basketball. The first NBA radio for all the fans around the world. Radio Hall of Fame basketball. We talk about NBA. We talk about passion. We are your radio.
The University of Kentucky has opened up a new campus.
Absolutely.
In New Orleans, with reports that Rajon Rondo has inked a one-year deal to play for the Pelicans. And this comes just about a week after New Orleans agrees to pay Jrue Holiday $126 million over 5 years. Holiday known as a really good point guard. So does this, the question now with Rondo and Jrue Holiday, with Cousins and Anthony Davis, make the Pelicans a playoff team in the really highly competitive Western Conference?
I really think it does, Jared. When you look at Utah losing Gordon Hayward, they may take a dip. When you look at the Clippers without Chris Paul, they may take a dip. And what Rondo gives, he's a strong personality. And we all know in New Orleans, you're going to need a strong personality, a point guard like a Rondo, who has a history, who's played with DeMarcus Cousins. And those guys have those Kentucky ties and Kentucky roots. I think this is a brilliant move for Dale Depth. I think it really helps his basketball team, and now it makes them more versatile. Now you can play Jrue Holiday, who is an excellent point guard, in my mind, just a step below an all-star point guard. But now, with his size, you can play him at the 2, and with he and Rondo on the floor with DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis, you have two guys, two playmakers who can make plays and run a lot of different pick and rolls, and you can really put a lot of pressure on your opposing teams. Great move for New Orleans, and I think this has the opportunity to work out well for Rondo and the Pelicans.
We've heard so much early in the summer that Cousins and Anthony Davis, Jrue Holiday, all working out. Cousins getting in shape. He feels better than ever. How much pressure is on Cousins now to get this team into the playoffs?
All the pressure on him. Look, DeMarcus Cousins has his title as being the best all-around big man in the NBA. When you start looking at rebounding, scoring, passing, basketball IQ, he has it all. The thing that DeMarcus Cousins has to learn to do is self-control. Look, you can't go out and lead the league in texts all the time. You can't drain your team with your antics. He has to be more of a team leader, more of a guy that buys into it. And I think having a guy like Rondo, look, I love Jrue Holiday, good player, but Jrue is kind of a reserved personality. You need a guy like Rondo who's going to step up in that locker room, and when guys start going sideways, he's going to call them out, he's going to pull their coat chain, and hopefully bring them back into the fold. So I think this is a win-win for New Orleans.
Kevin Durant's too weak to be first pick. He's a skinny teenager who'll never make it in a man's league.
Soft. S-O-F-T.
He has got some offensive skills, but you have to play defense. He's just all right. Yeah, he might drop 40, but he's not a real leader.
He don't have that tenacity. He don't got that danger.
Scoring title's great. MVP, big deal.
Kevin Durant will sign with the Warriors.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Traitor.
We gravy train.
That was the weakest move ever. That's what you call loyalty?
Durant out for 6 weeks.
Cry, baby.
The finals begin tonight. Durant's playing at a whole other level.
And it's over. KD has his first NBA championship.
I strive for greatness. All my life, they told me I couldn't. But they were wrong. If I push myself harder than anyone else, if I train harder than anyone else, if I practice more than anyone else, I will be the greatest. Nike. Just do it.
Boogie Cousins together with Anthony Davis and with Alvin Gentry as his coach. First of all, he's got his hands full with that crew. But Boogie Cousins and Rondo are thick as thieves. It was Rondo a few years ago who said, we are so much alike and we like each other so much because we're the same. We're hard-headed. We're a word that starts with A and ends with whole. We like to fight. We stand up for one. They even fought each other when Rondo was with the Celtics, and they still love one another. That is going to be a team to watch. We were talking yesterday as the deal was coming down. It's going to be an exciting time in New Orleans. So stash the kids, pack your bags. We're on our way.
His decision making.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Do you think this is a good fit for the Pels?
Yes, because they're so talent starved. Like, they need NBA players. That's just something they've been in short supply of last couple of years, outside of the obvious, the Anthony Davises and the Drew Holidays and all that. But at the same time, if I were them, if I had my druthers, and they don't have their druthers, but if they had their druthers, Rondo, I don't think Rondo's a great fit. Again, it's the same thing we talked about when Rondo went to Chicago. You need spacing on this team, right? If you want DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis to flourish, you want to give them room to operate so they can do all types of two-man game stuff or isolation stuff without having to worry about pesky defensive players around.
Okay, but let me throw another factor out here for you. Rajon Rondo got along really well with Boogie Cousins in Sacramento. Sure. They were like this. Is this a Boogie Cousins whisperer kind of move?
If that's the reason, again, like
I don't know,
but I'm saying if it is, I mean, that's nice. But again, I want people that fit the basketball vision of this team. What's the basketball vision right now, Rachel? What kind of team are they?
I mean,
we don't know. We have no idea.
We talked to Alvin Gentry at Summer League. He said that those two guys have been working out together.
Yes,
they feel like that they have gotten some progress on the court toward that vision, but we haven't seen it yet. We don't know what it is.
They've been in Vegas this whole time, and I do want to point out, it's kind of off topic, but I thought about it the other day. DeMarcus Cousins is at every Summer League.
Yep.
Every single Summer League he goes, and he hangs around the young guys on his team. I think that's a great
You know I'm Team Boogie. I want this to work out.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Your radio.
Probably their best player. They got DeMarcus Cousins, and now, of course, they have Rajon Rondo. And, dude, the Rajon Rondo deal, man, is pretty ridiculous because now the Pelicans are basically a super team. I consider Rajon Rondo basically a superstar. If he's not a superstar, he's one of the best role players in the NBA. So you got Anthony Davis, superstar, DeMarcus Cousins, kind of like a superstar, and then you got Rajon Rondo, who is also kind of like a superstar. But this team has the potential to actually win an NBA championship now. So now you have the Cavaliers, who got the same team basically as last year. They didn't really do anything this season. You got the Warriors, who still have the same overpowered team. You got Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. Now you have the Rockets with Chris Paul, James Harden, and everybody else. And then you have the Pelicans, which has Holiday, Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, and now Rajon Rondo. So pretty overpowered teams right here, man. And most of the overpowered teams are coming from the Western Conference. So if you guys think about it, teams like the Rockets, the Thunder, of course we got, Lakers and stuff like that, but you got Rockets, Thunder, Warriors, all those teams come out of the West. Those are the main overpowered teams from the West. Now you got the Pelicans, which are over here making a super team again. So now we have the Pelicans that are about to be another top contending team in their conference. And it's just getting really ridiculous, guys. I mean, this stuff is absolutely ridiculous. We got Rajon Rondo, who, like I said, is basically a superstar. If you don't consider him a superstar, he's a really good role player. He's joining Anthony Davis, which is a superstar. And then, of course, DeMarcus Cousins, which is also basically a superstar, which is going to make that team ridiculously hard to beat, dude. So I'm telling y'all, next season, man, it is about to be the craziest NBA season ever. Now, this last season kind of sucked because everybody knew the Warriors were going to win. When Durant went over and joined Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, everybody knew that the Warriors were going to win a championship. I mean, you had people saying LeBron was going to beat them, LeBron was going to put the smackdown on them, but I knew that wasn't going to happen, dude. Warriors just had too much talent. Well, this year you have other teams that now have a ton of talent as well. So Pelicans, Cavaliers still got the same players, dude. Cavaliers didn't do nothing during the offseason, at least so far. I want to see Kevin Love gone. I hope Carmelo ends up joining the Cavs. That's still a big possibility. He might actually do that. But if he heads to the Rockets, dude, the Western Conference is going to be so stacked, it's not even going to be funny. And he might actually head to the Rockets. That would give them 3 superstars as well. So I'm really interested to see how this turns out, man, because once Melo gets traded, and then once Kevin Love decides where he wants to go, that's basically going to solidify what next season's going to look like. So you're going to have the Rockets, which are probably going to be really good. You're going to have the Thunder, which are going to be better. probably won't be able to compete with the Rockets or the Warriors. Still going to be a good team. You're going to have the Pelicans, which are going to be super good. And then you're going to have the Cavs, who didn't do nothing. I mean, nothing during the offseason, dude. Cavaliers needed to make better trades. They really needed to get Melo. And I still hope they get Melo. But you know what? Right now it's looking like they might not actually do that. Looks like Melo might end up going to the Rockets. So you also have teams like the Celtics, guys. And the Celtics, I don't consider the Celtics like the best team out there in the East, but they've been getting better and better. They got some better players this year. They were picking up their game. Celtics are now able, I don't think they can compete with the Cavs, but they can make it somewhat competitive. Like, they might be able to push the series to maybe 6 games, but I don't think they can beat a team like the Cavaliers. That's just my opinion on it. So anyways, guys, Rajon Rondo signs a 1-year deal with the Pelicans. I think he did this because, once again, this is going to give him the best opportunity to win a title. Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, and then himself all on one team. That's going to be a really hard team to beat. So if they play really well together and they all bring their A games, I don't think there's too many teams out there that can actually beat them in a best of 7 series. I think they have a really, really good shot at winning some rings, and then of course winning an NBA championship. So anyways, guys, that is all I got for this video today.
Be first pick. He's a skinny teenager who'll never make it in a man's league.
Soft. S-O-F-T.
He has got some offensive skills, but you have to play defense. He's just alright. Yeah, he might drop 40, but he's not a real leader. He don't have that tenacity. He don't got that danger.
Scoring title's great. MVP, big deal.
Kevin Durant will sign with the Warriors.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Traitor.
Weak gravy train.
That was the weakest move ever. That's what you call loyalty?
Durant out for 6 weeks.
Cry, baby.
The finals begin tonight. Durant's playing at a whole other level. And it's over. KD has his first NBA championship.
It's your boy Carcino, and we back. Now everybody want to know, do the Pelicans have a shot with Rondo now to make some noise? Maybe, but playoffs, yeah, I can see the playoffs in their future. I could probably see a 7th or 8th seed. We got to see how the continuity of these guys playing together gonna do. But this is what they needed, though. They needed a guard who can get to the next level. And that's, you know, who can handle the ball. But the main problem that they gonna have, you got Boogie Cousins, you got Davis. You know, one needs to commit to, I'm gonna play in the paint, while the other one on the outside. Both of them, like Davis is like a guard. He needs to have the ball up top a lot and create. But so does Boogie, you know. So these are the things and the elements that's gonna take the fight to the next, take the game to the next level, and get the team up there. Then they bench, who they gonna have coming in. So I can see them winning more games than losing. Do I see them as a 50-win team season? I mean, no, I don't see them winning 50 games. But I do see them winning like high 40s, like maybe 45. And that should be enough to get them to the playoffs. It's gonna come down to consistency definitely from the outside shooting perspective. Rondo gives them leadership, and defensively, he's really good at knowing where people are supposed to be defensively. Now, do they have the personnel to get it done? I don't know, but Rondo is very good at coaching on the floor. So as somebody from the point guard position that's bringing that to the table, you would need that, because you can trust that, okay, I send the plays into my point guard. He understands if there's changes on the floor where they need to be as a team. So that's one thing that, for me, it comes in at as far as looking at a team and growth. And that's why I think normally start from the point guard on. if there was any credit to LeBron James, that's what he brings to a table, is the fact that he's willing to distribute to other players to let them do their thing. Now, but he can't make them any better. Only thing he can do is basically get his points and distribute the basketball to them. And they can just do what they do, what they normally do. And sometimes he comes in the way of that because he does his own thing. The point guard's job is to bring the ball up. LeBron wants to bring the ball up 70 to 80% of the time when he's playing because he's a rhythm player and he needs to be in rhythm when he's dribbling the ball or bringing it up. It's now in today's game, people share that duty. But here, you would need Rondo to bring the ball up. So he sees the floor, he sets the offense, he sets things up. And he needs to bring the ball up at least 90% of the time. You know, you need a point guard who can do that. And he's a very good defender. And, you know, he knows where the team help should be coming from and things of that nature now. Now, will him and Boogie get into it on the court, if they ain't doing what they're supposed to do, it could go there. You never know. But as far as from where our standpoint is right now, this is a very good move from the Pelicans. I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised that Cleveland is not a place he wanted to go to. They could have really used Rondo to at least come off the bench. But New Orleans seems like a perfect fit for him. And I'm out.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Radio Hall of Fame Basketball. The first NBA radio for all the fans around the world. Radio Hall of Fame Basketball. We talk about NBA. We talk about passion. We are your radio.